But we're making incredible finds as we find the mercury rising a little bit, but maybe coming down just a smidge. Right?
Yeah, just a little bit more humid and a little bit cooler in parts of southeast New Mexico. But Roswell, it's a soupy start. And what I mean by that, it's mild and humid. You kind of see the water vapor in the atmosphere. Kind of low visibility, misty and foggy a bit this morning and cloudy with an air temperature right now at 62 degrees with more of an easterly wind at 6 miles per hour, 89% humidity. Roadway conditions looking pretty dry, but again, reduced visibility because of the more humid air mass in eastern New Mexico and humid air leading to fog with reduced visibility around 4 miles in places like Hobbs. Good visibility elsewhere except Roswell and Carlsbad, at least 5-mile visibility or less out there. Look at the sharp line of the humid air mass. The greens and the tans separated with this line in between Ruidoso and Roswell. This is the dry line. Roswell close to 90% humidity, Ruidoso closer to 10% humidity. Humid out to the east, drier out to the west, and Albuquerque around a 21% relative humidity value right now. And that dry line separates the two air masses. Again, drier air with west-southwesterly winds out west, and more humid air with southeasterly winds out to the east. And often that dry line is where thunderstorms form with shifting winds converging on that dry line. That usually leads to thunderstorm development, especially to the east of that dry line. Something we'll have to watch out for. Not only rainy, but some lightning strikes, hail, strong wind gusts, and yeah, sometimes tornadoes. Something we'll have to watch out for the next few days in and around southeast New Mexico. Becoming brighter with clear skies out there in Albuquerque. You can see the Sandias on this Thursday morning, 5:15 right now with an air temperature 54, down from 58 last hour with westerly winds switching now from the east, but still dry out there. That cooler air descending down from the Sandias out there. 41 Los Lunas, 50 you're waking up to that in Rio Rancho and Bernalillo. You can even see that sharp contrast from the blues and yellows on this temperature map with mild and humid air out east, cooler and drier out to the west. 34 Durango, 47 in places like Raton, 44 in Santa Fe, 62 and humid in places like Roswell. Meanwhile, 57 and dry in places like Alamogordo at the freezing mark in the reserve. And that dry line sparked up some thunderstorms in far southeast New Mexico yesterday into West Texas. Now we're dealing with clear skies out there, and temperatures on the rise this afternoon for most above normal, reaching in the low 80s Albuquerque, upper 70s in Santa Fe, high 60s and 70s from the Four Corners into the northern mountain communities. From Clayton to the south, around 80, if not around 90 in Carlsbad. Hobbs a little bit drier today as that dry land shifts far to the east. Will be a tad warmer, and from Alamogordo to the south and west, warm but dry out there. Mostly sunny here in Albuquerque at 81 degrees. A warm day, a dry day, not too windy of a day, just a little bit breezier out there with west-southwesterly winds picking up and forming the thunderstorms mostly east of the New Mexico-Texas state line. Maybe a few isolated storms near the Raton Pass in eastern parts of Lee County. But that thunderstorm threat a little bit more possible tomorrow in parts of Roosevelt and Curry counties in the northeastern highlands, as well as in far southeast New Mexico, with not only rain, but also some hail, lightning strikes, strong wind gusts, and mostly the tornado threat will be farther to the east in West Texas. So that surge of moisture comes in tomorrow night into Saturday morning, but then Saturday afternoon, southwesterly winds picking up. That movement of that dry land will be farther to the east, and that will allow for the thunderstorm development in the eastern mountains to the eastern plains of New Mexico as we head for your Saturday afternoon. But that fire danger with dust will be higher elsewhere. High 60s, low to mid 70s in Durango, lows generally in the 30s, including Cortez, Alamosa, Pagosa Springs dropping the 20s perhaps, and then cooling off Sunday with a little bit of dust. Farmington, Grandson, Gallup in the 70s, 80s tomorrow and Saturday, cooler and dustier on Sunday. Glenwood in the low 80s. Mid to upper 80s in Las Cruces, near 90 Friday and Saturday, and brownout conditions possible in Roswell on Sunday after a more humid, soupy air mass on Saturday, with most of the thunderstorms east of southeast New Mexico, east of even Lovington today, but something we'll have to watch out for later tomorrow and Saturday. Clayton, Springer, and Mora in the 70s and 80s for today. And the rain chances mostly low today in the northern mountains, and beautiful weather in the 60s and 70s in the northern mountain communities. Moriarty, Tijeras from Rio Rancho to Belen and Albuquerque, highs in the high 70s and lower 80s. Our average high in Albuquerque 72, average low 45. Above normal temperatures ahead. Windier this weekend, dusty on Sunday, cooler and calmer next week. So if we get through Sunday, It's going to be pretty nice weather, and mostly nice weather before then as well, David.
Hard to imagine that Monday and Tuesday would actually be a little bit closer to normal than what we're experiencing now.
Yeah, upper 80s will feel really nice, and 70s will feel almost a little bit chillier out there with low temperatures in the low to mid 40s. But either way, mostly good weather ahead.
Not bad. All right, thanks a lot, Ryan.